Hallo zusammen und einen wunderschönen guten Abend hier zum, jetzt muss ich selber gucken, vierten Lauf der Crossplay GT3 Championship hier von Apex Online Racing. So hello and welcome, good evening to round 4 of the 8th season of the Apex Online Racing GT3 Crossplay Championship here on the consoles. And today we have a home race for a lot of drivers, because today we are in Hungary at the Hungaroring, and just because we have a lot of Hungarian racers, it's a special race. And I have a big problem, because I don't know one of the two drivers of the days. So I need to figure out who is it. So give me a second. I can tell you that one of the racers of the day is the Ferrari with the number 10, Paul. But I try to figure out who is the second one. And maybe we're not able to figure it out. I think it's Homoki, maybe. So just wait. But where is Homoki? Cause, yeah, but he got the number 444. Maybe it's not Homoki. I don't know. I can't find Wookie here. So give me a second. Voila.
Green light, show them what you got.
Okay, I have no idea. Maybe we can figure it out. Arrived with a bang, got his first top 5 finish in Apex Online Racing. His strong performance across qualifying and race got this result over the line, keeping it clean. Yeah, I think it's Homoki, but I'm not sure, to be honest. Yeah, Dani. Okay, yeah, I think it's probably Homoki who did this his first race last week and finished I think was it P5 or let me see. I try to find him. Ah, there he is. Yeah, he was P5 after his first race. So, and now let's talk about the current leader. At the moment, 25 points in front of his teammate. We have Jared Vermeulen in the lead with 2 wins and 1 second place. And then we have Hyans with, yeah, at the moment, because we have the first Oh my goodness, I don't know what Strechergebnis means. Just wait. I think we just... Okay, it's string result. Okay, maybe. Yeah, and with the first string result, so we have one P5 by Martin and one second place who get lost. And so we have one second and one first place by Hyujans and two first places by Jared, and this brings a gap from of 25 points. And then we have Hammerlund on P3, already 60 points behind Hyujans, and Dave Urban on P4. The first silver driver is still Sabolj Lachko on P8. And then we have Jordan still P2 in the silver grid, followed by Robert Smith, the American driver. So, and now let's have a look who is part of this race today. So we have Jared with the first time, then we have Hyujans, Martin second place, and then we have Jordan, the silver driver, and he's in front of Hammerlund and Radek, but behind Homoki, who is P3 at the moment. And then we have Kemendi, the next fast silver driver. Yeah, but he's only... Oh, I don't know. He's... Let's see. We are checking the silver standings. Oh, and Daniel Kemendi, after missing 2 races, won the first he did not finish, and in the second he could not start. So he's only P15 with a P4 last week. And at the moment... Oh, whoa, 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 be careful. So, little problem here for the first silver driver. And then we have Homoki 1.5 of a second behind Hyujans, and more than half of a second faster than the fast Estonian driver. And here we have Lachko, the current leader of the silver grid. And with 380 points, but without a string result, he's currently 78 points in front of Barabas, who's P2 in the silver rating. But interesting, he's not P2 in the overall standing, but I think it's because of the string results. I hope it's the right word. Oh, and here we have Guido Christ, the fast Porsche driver. And here we have one of the 2 driver of the days. The other one is P3 at the moment. But I'm not sure that Dani was driving the AMG last week. But I think so, cause I didn't think that... No! Yes, he was driving the AMG, yeah, of course. I just thought I saw another sign here, but no, it's the AMG sign. Oh, and currently Jared is more than half of a second faster than his teammate. Oh, and now we have two drivers between the two teammates. So we have Homoki on second place and Paul currently P3. More than 2.5 tenths of a second in front of Hyans, who is currently the fastest Mustang, but only on P4. Still 4/10 of a second faster than Rünkjanen in the next Mustang. But maybe it's not the best Mustang track, so let's see. And then we have the Porsche, and here we have Zepp, the third Ferrari. And sorry, but I think it's another driver we see the first time. Could it be? The number 95. No, at the moment he's not on the table. Today he's at the table, but not in the standings. So let's see if I can say something about Zepp. Sorry, wrong keyboard. Oh, okay, it's Sebastian Sandham. I think we already know Sebastian. But I think he didn't start this season until today. No. So I can't read Sebastian Sandham on the standings. So we have driver number 23 starting. No. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 drivers without any points. By the way, one of them is Lavuga, who is currently P11. Oh, and Chobor, now on P7, fastest silver driver, in front of Sebastian Sandham. And then we have Victor Hammerlund, the fast Swedish driver. But at the moment he's 4 places behind Chris Egert. And Chris Egert is only 10 points behind Hammerlund. Last time we saw P11 by Victor and P4 by Chris Egert. But we have one second place from Victor in race number 2 at Spielberg. And then we have... Oh, now we have Jordan between Sandham and Hammerlund. Second silver driver at the moment. No, not anymore. Because right in this moment Latchko was a little bit faster. It's 35 hundredths of a second. And here we have Barabbas with the GTR and currently on P13, and fingers crossed that he finished his first race today here at the Apex Online Racing Championship. The driver starting for IRS, Independent Racing, no, Sim Racer ISR. So let's see. And by the way, he's not the only driver starting for ISR, cause also Fabian, the German driver, stands here as ISR Motorsport. But currently he's only on P23. Yeah, and we just were by Lavugar, so we have Bozo P16. No, now P17, cause anyone was able to make a big jump. I think it was Kamandi, who is now P2 in the silver grid, P9 in the overall standing in this race. Oh, and we have Urban, currently P2. So Jared 1.32 tenths of a second in front of Dave in the fastest Mustang so long. And then we have the second Mustang 5 thousandths of a second behind Urban, and it's Martin Williams. And then we have Homoki and Fiedler, the AMG, and the second Ferrari. And then we have Chris Egert P6 for the fastest Estonian driver. Then Adam Gilchrist, Daniel Kamandi P9. Then we have Lloyd Chapman and Sebastian Sandham. Then Lachko and Jordan, and only P14 at the moment for Victor Hammerlund. So I think the Swedish driver needs a good time here in this, or in his last lap in this qualification. Oh, and now he's losing another place. Oh, and meanwhile it's 9 places between him and his Estonian concurrent. Sorry. By the way, the second Swedish driver only 4 places behind, right after the Austrian driver in the Lamborghini. And then we have Sandor behind Frisk, then Jeffrey van Buren, Robert Smith, only P21, which is, let me see, only P9 for the silver ratings, or for the silver drivers. And then we have Stephen Archibald and the German driver Radek in front of Kendall Slater, then the Polish driver Mac Mats, Balo, Danny van Eyck, Atti Klaassen, the second South African driver, then WB70, Stefko, Overy and Taylor, and Victor stays on P15. The good news is Sebastian Sandham was able to overtake Chris Egert, so it's only 7 places between Chris Egert and Victor. But I'm not sure if this is enough for Victor to stay in front of Chris Egert. So, and by the way, the 2 leaders were able to get P1 and P2 also in this starting formation. So we have Jared, the current leader of the standing, on first place, right in front of his teammate, or beside his teammate, to be honest, right in front of Urban. Martin second place, then Urban in front of Homoki and Fiedler. So we have both of the drivers of the day together, P4 and P5, the drivers of the day from Suzuka. Then Chris, Sebastian Sandham, Chris Egert-Rüngjanen, and then we have the first silver driver, Adam Chobo, in front of Bozo Lavuga, P11. So he was able to gain some positions, I think, in front of Daniel Kamandi, then Lloyd Chapman and Lachko, the current leader of the silver grid. Then Roland Jordan and Viktor Hammerlund, Jolt Barabas, Oscar Frisk, Sandor, Fabian Radek, Jeffrey van Buren, Robert Smith, the American driver, then the Scottish driver Archibald in front of Kendall Slater, McMats, the Polish driver, Balo, one of the many Hungarian drivers, then Van Eyck, one of the Dutch drivers, Atti Klaassen, one of two South African drivers, WB70, Stefko, Overy and Taylor, and I think Taylor is one of the new drivers, but I think he's one of the British drivers. So we do a really short commercial break that I can take a little breath, and then we are back for 1 hour of finest race action. So see you soon, or hear you soon, to be honest. So, and after this short break, we are back here at the Hungaroring, and I think we are
30 seconds.
joining the last driver of the day. But today we have the problem that there are two drivers of the day.
20 seconds.
One is the green Ferrari, we are just jumped in, and the other one is the Sky AMG that you can see behind the blue, orange, white Mustang on the left side. So you can see the K. I think. But it's the best way to show you both. So we are sitting in one of the cars and watching the other one left in front of us. So these are the drivers of the day from last week. Yeah, and finally Paul with a good result this season after some really hard races. Yeah, and for Dani Homoki it was his first race, so of course a good result. So P8, the first top 10 finish for Paul in this season. No, the second one, cause he was P10 in the second race. So at least in the just wait. No, it was P13 in the second race, so P8. So we are coming from P26 to P13, then to P8. So I think the trend is his friend. So maybe a good sign for today. Maybe we see another good result for the British driver. And by the way, with Urban and Tomoki, we have 2 drivers from the Platinum grid who are Hungarian in the top 10. And then we have Chobor, Bozo, Kemendi, Jordan, Lachko, Barabbas, Sandor. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the first 7 drivers of the silver grid are Hungarian drivers. So maybe it's a good race for the Hungarian guys. Let's see. And to be honest, we are waiting for a long time that anyone else instead of Jared and Martin are winning a race or can win a race. So maybe today is the day. Let's see. We will have more information in 1 hour and a little bit, cause we are back at the start finish line, and this means we are a few seconds away from the start of race number 4. And here we have the start signal. Oh, and we have 2 drive-through penalties right by the start, or right at the start. Oh, and we have a fight of 3 between Hyjans, Urban and Vermeulen for the first position. Oh, and 3 wide in turn 2. No, 3. Oh, and Martin with the better ending. Dave P2 and Jared only P3, fighting against Paul, who was able to win at least 1 position. And behind we have Tomoki fighting against Christ for P6, I think. Oh, and but Tomoki is able to stay at least in front of the Porsche here during the chicane. And then we have Rüngjanen in front of 4 silver drivers, Kemendi in front of Chobor, then Lachko, with the BMW, and Bozo P12 in front of Chapman, and Chapman was able to overtake Lavuga only P14, then Jordan, Barabbas, Hammerlund P17, and we have the drive-through penalties for Sandor and Van Buren. Oh, and I think we lost no one. And we have the fastest lap by Dave, but I think it's because of Martin was a little bit out of the track limits, to say it like this. So we see Dave already half of a second behind Hyjans. And we have both drive-throughs cleared, so both of the drivers just went into the pits for their drive-throughs. And we see we have a close field, so up to P20, no gap of a second at the moment. The biggest gaps are 8.5 tenths between Jordan and Barabbas. And then now we have Oscar Frisk more than 2 seconds in front of Radek, so I think a little mistake by Radek who costs him a little bit of time. And at the moment Urban with some problems, and I can name these 2 problems. One is green and right behind him, and the other one is a Mustang and running away. So pressure from both of the Ford versus Ferrari guys. So one of them was able to overtake him during... No, was able to stay in front of him. Cause Dave comes from P3, I think. Yeah, but at this moment he's doing a good job for Martin, cause Martin is able to get away not only from Dave but also from Jared. And right behind Jared we have Paul, currently P4, 1.7 seconds away from Homoki, though the 2 drivers of the day from last week switched positions, and at the moment it looks like the Ferrari is a little bit faster than the AMG. And on P6 we have Sebastian Sandham. And I'm not sure if it's his first race here and I know him from anywhere else, or maybe it's his comeback, let's say it like this, here at the Apex Online Racing Crossplay Championship. And at the moment P6. So it seems to be a good field for comeback drivers or not newcomers, but for first races, to let's say it like this. Maybe also it is a first race after a long break. And meanwhile, oh no, shit, we are just missed the overtake by Vermeulen. So let's have a look for the number 14. And I think we are at the right position. So first corner on the inside, and yeah, there was no really defense by Urban. I think he knew that Jared is able to get faster, and so he let him pass. I don't think that there was a big mistake in the first corner by Dave. But at the moment he has another problem, and it's like a déjà vu, cause it's the same car, the same color, but another driver. And this time we have Paul fighting for a top 3 result. Yeah, but this is what I said. The friend was his, the trend was his friend. The friend was his friend, yeah, of course. So maybe we see some more positive trends in this race. So for example, for Lavoga it will be a positive trend if he is able to finish this race. I think 2 times he has technical problems with his rig, and I think 1 time he just disconnected because of G-Portal or whatever. At the moment he's P13, 1.5 seconds behind one of the British drivers, behind Lloyd. And only 0.6 of a second in front of Bozo, one of the silver drivers, by the way P4 of the silver grid. And we have the fight for the lead in the silver grid between Kemendi and Chobor. But I'm pretty sure that in this moment, when we are jumping to P10, this fight will end by an overtake or maybe by a spectacular crash. So I'm really afraid to show you the other fights here. Also, it's the fight for P1 in the silver grid. But at the moment, Daniel is able to stay in front of Adam Chobor. And with one eye we have to watch the 2 guys in front of us here, so we have to watch also for Hyljans and Vermeulen. Because I'm not sure that 2.9 seconds are enough for Martin to keep Jared on 2nd place. Meanwhile, we have a little moment to watch this fight here. And here we have the fight for the lead, or for the 1st place of the silver rating. And behind Lavoga we have now 1.5 seconds. Or we have a gap of 1.5 seconds, and the fight for P4 in the silver rating between 3 drivers. So we have Bozo, Jordan and Barabbas. 3 Hungarian drivers. So we have still... No, we have, at the moment we have 8 Hungarian drivers in the top 8. Yeah, and then Smith, the American driver, on P9, and Atti Klaassen, the South African driver, currently P10. So this is the silver rating standing at the moment. And here we have Chobor fighting for the lead against Kemendi. Oh, and meanwhile we have more than a second between Urban and Fiedler. And still 1.4 seconds between Fiedler and Tomoki. And Rynkianen lost another position, only P8 at the moment, but... No, he's not losing a position. Sorry, I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong. Or? I don't know. And Chapman, meanwhile, right behind Latchko. who is 2.2 seconds behind Kemendi and Chobor. The two silver drivers we are seeing sometimes here at the behind the Mustang. Oh, and Jared is losing against Hyans. Oh, and what is this? What? Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh no, and this was... I think Sandham with a problem. But he's not the only one. There is already standing at least one driver. And who is it? It's the 999. Who is the 999? Oh no, and don't say it's a back... Oh no, it's a back marker. Oh no. Oh no. Let's see what happens to the number 95. And it's not only the number 95, but also number 5, who was the fastest silver driver. So let's see at first the number 95. Here we have... No. Ah, yes, it's okay. Oh no, and there is losing the car. Oh, and this was close, and this was more than close. And here we have the next two drivers, and there we have Kemendi hitting... And are there any more drivers? Let's see. I hope not. Oh, and yes, it hits another. It was another car involved in this crash. I think he's just in front of us. Here we have. Oh no. Oh, it's Barabbas, who was also part of this crash. Ah, come on. Oh no, okay, okay, no. No, you can't say that he was part of this crash. He was part of his own crash, so... Not really, yeah, but... First big hits and first problems for some of the drivers. Bad news for Kemendi. Oh, and meanwhile we have Kemendi back on P3 and Lachko on second place. And I think Bozo already lost some positions. Oh, and we have a drive-through penalty because of track limits for Sandham. So we have Sandham and Barabbas, who already did their mandatory stop. And meanwhile, we have bigger gaps during the top 5, and then we have the first fight between Christ and Rüngjanen. Still the fight between the Porsche and the third Mustang. Then we have Tobor, meanwhile first place of the silver grid, and he's in front of Chapman and Lavoga. So at the moment Lavoga not only on track but he's fighting, so this is good to see, or to see, you know what I try to say. And okay, with a little bit of luck during the last laps, meanwhile he's in the top 10. So my fingers are crossed that he will see the checkered flag today. And behind these two drivers we have the fight for second and third place here in the silver grid. Kemendi right behind Latchko, and then we have Bozor. Jordan 4.2 seconds behind these three drivers, and he's fighting against Hammerlund, one of the Swedish driver. And meanwhile Hammerlund 8 places behind Rüngjanen, the guy who is right behind him in the standings. So I'm pretty sure that Victor is trying to get in front of Jordan. But this is not enough, because in his grid he's only 3 places behind Rüngjanen, but Lavoga and Chapman are far away. I think 7 seconds or something like this. Oh, it's more. It's 8, 9, it's maybe 10 seconds. And Lavoga lost a little bit against Chapman. And also Rüngjanen more than a second behind Christ. Yeah, but behind Hammerlund we have Overy, and he's waiting for his chance to get in front of Jordan. And to be honest, behind Overy we have Frisk, the second Swedish driver, and I think he's not sad if he's able to get Swedish driver number 1 today. And behind these 4 Mustangs we have the second AMG with Radek, and behind the German driver we have the American driver, the American car, Robert Smith. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drivers really close to each other. Oh, and Sebastian Sandham already left the race, so really sad. So no haymaker comeback. And at the moment everything looks like that we have a tight fight for P1 after the fourth race, because of the string results we will have, or we have actually 2 first and 1 second places for both of them, for Jared and for Martin. So let's see what happened, or what will happen in the last 3 races. Cause this race seems not to be the race for real decisions in this case. Oh, and Radek coming in for his pit stop, and we have the second drive-through penalty for Sandor after his penalty, or the penalty he gets at the start. And again he's immediately coming in and doing his penalty, or the drive-through. And here we have the fight between Bozo, Kemendi and Latchko for P2, 3 and 4 in the silver grid. Still more than 5 seconds in front of Jordan, who's currently P4 of the silver drivers. Oh no, and I think we just get the next penalty for Sandor. And in this time, or in this case, it's a 30-second stop and go penalty because of speeding in the pits. Oh, and he's jumping back into the pits, so I think this will be the end of his race. Maybe not. Oh, and we have the pit stop by one of the 2 McLarens hunting the BMW. Kemendi with the undercut, to maybe to overtake Latchko in the pits. Let's see if this plan works, or if Latchko is able to stay in front, or maybe Bozo, who could be able to overtake Kemendi. So let's see. So, but it's like every time everything must work during the pit stop. Otherwise you will lose more than 1 position, especially in such a close field. So like you see, it's I think 24 drivers in the same lap. The first one who isn't is Radek, but he just was in the pits, and so it's totally okay that he lost time. So the first gap, who is more than 10 seconds, is between Klaassen and Van Buren. between P19 and P20. So one mistake and you might lose some positions. Meanwhile, it stays by 4 point a little bit seconds between Wirjans and Vermeulen, but Wirjans still the fastest driver of the race. Rinkianen meanwhile 1.6 seconds behind Christ, and Lavogar nearly 5 seconds behind Chapman. Still 4 seconds in front of these two drivers. Or 4 seconds in front of this driver and nearly 5 seconds in front of this one. So, and now let's see, and Kemendi is still the first driver who did his mandatory stop, and Frisk still right in front of Radek. I think it was the same situation before the pit stop of these two drivers. I think it was Frisk fighting against his fellow countryman, against Hammerlund, and Radek fighting both of them, both of the Swedish drivers. So now we have the fight, not the fight, but the pit stop from Jordan and Smith. And Urban is coming in for his pit stop, so Paul currently P2. And I think it was a good stop by Urban. Oh, and we have the next drive-through penalty, and it's for WB70. And Thunder, like I said, now standing in the pits, waiting for the end of the race. And we are waiting for the next pit stops here. Oh, and we see the pit stop by the leader of the race, so Martin now in the pits, and Jared at the moment leader, and we have the two green Ferraris on top of the field, and Christ now in for his pit stop. And Rinkianen now in front of the Porsche. Okay, I just wondered because why these position switch, or yeah, you know what I tried to say. I think I don't need to explain. So, and now I think we, oh, and Urban now in the fight with Klaassen, and was it Klaassen? Yeah, Klaassen, and with the other one. One of the Ferraris. Is it Van Buren? Yeah, what happens here between the number 21, 97 and 187? So let's have a look for Dave. Oh, and nice one. We just have the number 97. So he was right behind Atti. But where is Jeffrey? What happens to Jeffrey that he is part of this? I think he was in front of... No, he was behind. I think he's getting involved in this fight here. Ah, it was a little bit too close. Ah, and then, yeah, we just saw it at the... Ah, there. Ah, he couldn't avoid the crash. So the BMW... Oh no! And no, don't move. Why moving? It's... Yeah, this is how you do it. You wait till... Yes! Big Jeff, good that you show us how it works. 'Cause don't do this like Ati does. So if you're standing there, stay there and let the other guy do his job. So, yeah, it was unlucky. The whole situation was a little bit unlucky. Here we have the fight between Big Jeff and Joel Barabas, I think. So, and now we lost a lot of things. So we have Hyun's again in front of Jared Omoki in the pits, so I think we... Oh no, and Paul was able to overtake Dave in the pits. So meanwhile we have Paul right behind Jasmine and Martin and Bodhi. And now we only have to look for Homoki against Paul. And we need to see... Oh, and drive-through penalty for Kendall because of track limits. Yeah, and Paul, meanwhile, on P5. But still no mandatory stop by Overi and Hammerlund. I think these are the last two drivers, and yeah, except Sandor, who already who have to did their mandatory stop. And Kemendi was able to overtake Latchko, and not only a little bit. Meanwhile, he's more than 5.5 seconds in front of Latchko. So, at least P2 again after this. Let's call it situation. I think it will not be enough to get in front of Trobor. And now we have to take a look for Overi. I think it's only P3 for Command, but no, they were fighting for the second place, I think, but why? We are just watching, and we will see what happens between Overi and Kemendi. And okay, Kemendi, I think, did we see? No, we don't see. Yeah, there was the Mustang, so now Overi behind Kemendi, so Kemendi back on second place here in the silver rating, and I think also Lachko and... Oh no! Oh no, and what is this? Jared with the drive-through penalty. Oh, and this is... it's no problem, cause he will have this race as his string result race. So it's the same, 2 first places, 1 second place, and then let's see, I think it's not P3 anymore, cause Urban really close behind Paul. And I don't know if they... I think they will realize it, that Jared got the drive-through penalty. Meanwhile, they have Jolt between them. And Barabbas now fighting against Big Jeff. And this is the fight for P24 at the moment, and Jeffrey was able to overtake Jolt. Oh, and the other thing is, we have the number of 84 in front of the number 83, so at the moment Oscar, fastest Swedish driver, and Radek still right behind these 2 Swedish guys, and still right in front of the American driver. And then we have Jordan, P19. Ooh, and there was some contact between Smith and Jordan. But at least Radek says, thank you guys for taking the stress from me. Oh, and Tomoki now between Rünkjanen and Christ, so Tomoki lost another position during the pit stops. And I'm not sure if it's enough for these drivers to get in front of Jared. Yeah, but to be honest, it will be really hard for Paul to show the trend next week if he finished P2 this race, because it will be really hard to win a race here if you are not Jans or Vermeulen. But hey, we will see. To be honest, I'm not really sure on which track we are driving next week, cause we are at the Eifel. This is what I know, but I really can't say if we are driving on the GP course or GP track or on the Nordschleife. It just says Nürburgring. So yeah, I don't know. I think they will call it Nordschleife if we are driving the 24 hours track. But to be honest, I have no idea. So hey Jared and so on, maybe you can tell me after this race. So, and we have to take a look. Where is Jared? Oh, and he's behind Christ and Tomoki. And behind Rünkjanen, so only P7 for Jared at this moment. Which makes Chris Egert's race a little bit more interesting. Because now he has the current leader of this season, or let's say the leader till the end of the... No, he stays on P1, but it's a tight first place after this race. So really interesting. And we need to take a look at Paul and Dave. Oh, and Radek, meanwhile 4.7 seconds behind the two Swedish guys. And the two Swedish guys hunting Bozo and fighting each other. Only 0.3 of a second between Bozo and Frisk, and between Frisk and Hammerlund. Oh, and here we have Omoki against Christ. And then we have Rünkjanen against Vermeulen. And here we have a BMW, a backmarker. Oh, and it's WB. I hope there is no... Oh, and this is... not so good, but okay. No bigger problem for Chris Egert, I hope. Oh, and Dave, meanwhile, less than a second behind Paul. So, 15 hard minutes for Paul and his fight for P2. But not only for Paul, but also for Guido and for Chris Egert. So, P2, 4 and 6 with big pressure from behind. Oh, Paul, meanwhile, more than a second in front of Dave. So, was able to get away from the driver behind of him. But Tomoki still right behind Christ and Vermeulen, right in the back of the Estonian driver. Yeah, but to be honest, it's totally... It's... Nah, it's not totally equal. Is it equal, I think? If he's finished P6 or P5 at this moment of the season. Because in every case... This will be his this will be his string result so far. As long he's not in first or second place, so maybe he's nice for Chris Egert today and let him finish P6, but I don't think so. The same way that I'm really sure that... Oh, and... Just wait. No, we have to stay here. Oh, and look at this. And Tomoki still behind the Porsche. We have the back markers here, which makes things more interesting than normal. In this case, it's... I think it's McMuds, the Polish... No, it's not Mats. I don't know. Is it Ballo? No. Who is it? Is it Atti again? Oh yes, it's Atti again. Oh. So... maybe some help from his fellow countrymen. But I don't think so. Oh, and there we have Jeffrey, I think. Yeah. And now we have the fight between Jeffrey and Atti, and this right in front of Chris Egert and Jared. Doesn't make things easier. No, 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 no. Be careful, guys. Please be careful. Oh, and now we have the attack by Jared again. Yeah, good decision from Big Jeff to let these two drivers pass. Nice job. Well done. Yeah, and this is how you can see, or how you can say who's a good driver. You don't have to be fast, but you have to show the other drivers that you know what you are doing. And I think Big Jeff did a great job in this case. And here we have Homoki fighting against Chris. And Chris Egert still defending like a lion. Oh no, and I think this time, yeah, this is the end of... Oh, be careful, guys. Yeah. Yeah, but I think Jared already knows what will happen, because it's I think the third lap in which Chris Egert have some problems in this turn. But now it's not over. Maybe. Let's see. And yeah, now we have 2.2 seconds between Homoki and Jared. So let's see if Jared joins this fight. Meanwhile, everything is clear in the silver grid. Oh, and we have the next drive-through penalty. Yeah, it's Balor. Oh, and penalties, cause also Atti got a penalty for track limits, or because of the track limits. Yeah, and Rygjanen meanwhile more than a second behind Jared, and Jared, not Jacket. And Jared less than 2 seconds behind Homoki. And I'm pretty sure that Tomoki knows who's coming from behind. Though this could be really interesting. And Hammerlund still behind Frisk. So 9 places behind Chris Egert. And Ballot with the drive-through. Ati cleared his drive-through. Lost one position, now behind Jolt Barabas. And we are watching the fight between Christ and Tomoki for the 4th position, and here we have Jared right behind these two drivers. Oh, and here's some problems for the AMG. Look at this. What is this? It looks like the tires of Tomoki are done. Maybe, I'm not sure. Oh, and now we have Jared right behind Tomoki, and I think Guido is saying thank you and tries to escape. Oh, and here the next problems for Tomoki. What is wrong with Tomoki? Is it because of the pressure from behind? Or are the tires done? I'm not sure. 4 minutes to go. So I think 3 more laps maybe. Smith still right behind Radek and right in front of Jordan. At the moment he's P6 in the silver standing. Oh, and there was a BMW off track, but it's one of the back markers. I think this was the Polish driver. So, and 3.5 minutes to go. Björn's already in the 2nd sector. And here we have the fight between Radek, the platinum driver, and then the 2 silver drivers fighting for P6. Jordan against Smith. And here we have the fight between the 2 Swedish drivers, hunting Bozo, one of the silver drivers. And I'm not sure if Frisk stays on P15 till the end of the race. I'm not sure if these 2 guys are teammates, so let's take a look for this. Because if they are teammates, I think it will be smarter if Victor... No, and there are no teammate unless they have really close numbers, but no. So let's see, and here we have Omoki hunting Christ and Vermeulen hunting both of them. Oh, and here defensive line by the AMG. And on the outside, Jared. And meanwhile, Chris Egert is getting closer to these three drivers. Oh, and another yellow flag at the end of the track. The number 973. Oh, Jordan. And I think he lost some positions. No. Because he was far in front of Ballo, but now he's more than 6 seconds behind Smith, and also Smith lost against Radek, and now we started the last lap, or to be honest, Jared started the last lap, cause he's the only one, and now we have Paul. Yeah, and like I said, it will be hard to... I use it a second time to show the trend next week, cause to be better he needs to be first place, but I think second place will be okay too. Oh, and Christ now behind Omoki, and also lost the place against Jared here at the start of the last lap. Bad news for the Porsche driver. From P4 back to P6 right at the start of lap number 34. And now with pressure from Chris Egert. But now we have to show Martin and say congratulations to the Mustang driver. I think 2 first places in the last... No, last week we had Jared on first place, yeah. So first place after the first race, and then we have Paul. Yeah. What should I say? Congratulations, and he celebrates with a big crash. And then we have Dave, P3. And Tomoki is able to stay in front of Jared, so Tomoki P4. Jared P5, then Guido on 6th place, right in front of Rüngjanen. And then we have the first silver driver. Congratulations to Adam Schobor for the win in his class. And of course, a big congratulations to Gabriel, not only for finishing in the top 10, but also for finishing. So good job. Greetings to Austria. And then we have Daniel Kamandi after a good start. Then we saw the crash, but the comeback with P2 in front of Latchko. Oh, and I'm not sure if Latchko is really happy about this. Maybe there is... maybe it was just a little bit of fun. So Lloyd P12, then Norbert Overy, Bozo P14 in front of Frisk. And Frisk stays in front of his fellow countryman, in front of Hammerlund. So Hammerlund, 1, 2, 3... No, water. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4 places behind Chris Egert. And then we have the German driver Radek in front of Smith, the American driver, then Jordan and Ballo. Kendall Slater finished P21 in front of Mac Mats, the Polish driver, then Big Jeff, Jeffrey van Buren, Jolt Barabas, Atti Klaassen, Steven Archibald, Stefko and WB76. And then we had Standor finished in the pits, and Sandham, Van Eyck, Taylor and Standor, who didn't start or didn't finish the race. Yeah, but what an interesting race, and what a result for, yeah, of course for Martin, but to be honest, I think more happy today is Paul, because this was really a great race after at least 2 hard races at the end, at the start of this season. And I think also last week, yeah, the race didn't start well after top 5 qualifying. Oh yes, he had the disconnect in the grid, in the starting grid last week, and was set up at the end of the field, and then he was able to finish P8, and today starting from P5, 6, 7, I don't know, I think P5, and today finished P2. So what a race, or what 2 races in a row by the Green Monkey racer, the former. I think he is one of the Green Monkey racers, but not in this championship. Yeah, and now we are done for today. So, like I said, I have no idea where we are starting next week. It's at the Nürburgring, but okay, to be honest, the Grand Prix course we have in both cases, but I don't know if we see the Mercedes Arena or if we skip this. So let's see. Next week we are a little bit smarter about this. But now I have to take a look for the fun racers. Because to be honest, I'm not really sure if I have a stream tomorrow. Bubbidi bubbidi. Ooh. So no, they are starting next week. So yeah, so let's call it a day. We are switching to German like every week to tell the audience what they are seeing in the next days. So goodbye to all the not German speaking guys. Und ja, dann kommen wir zu euch. Also wie gesagt, morgen noch keine Funracer, die starten dann erst nächste Woche auf Silverstone. Ja, und dann geht es dementsprechend weiter am Freitag bei, und jetzt muss ich kurz schauen, ja, es müsste mit den Schwitzern losgehen. Genau, am 6. geht's los mit den Schweizer Motorsportlern, mit den Crossplay GT Masters Season 3. Und da starten wir auf Barcelona, also am Freitag. Ja, grüßen wir nicht von der Schleife. Wir hoffen natürlich aber inständig, dass die doch bitte jemanden gefunden haben, der das übernimmt. Und wir sagen dann Hallo von den Schwitzern aus Barcelona. Da dann ja unter anderem nicht nur mit den Schwitzern, sondern unter anderem auch mit, wen hatten wir, was hatten wir gesagt? Ja, natürlich mit Keck Sim Racing, aber eben auch neu mit am Start. Ach, wo haben wir sie denn? Mit Black Nitro, genau. Und zwar mit 2 Teams, der Raphael und der Lukas, die starten ja jeweils solo. Also von daher, schauen wir mal. Bis dahin erstmal schönen Abend, seid lieb zueinander. Wie gesagt, ansonsten sehen wir uns hier nächste Woche in der Eifel. Ob wir dann vom Nürburgring, also von der Grand Prix-Strecke links abbiegen Richtung Sabine-Schmitz-Kurve oder rechts wieder Richtung Startziel, das werden wir dann spätestens nächste Woche sehen. Haltet die Ohren steif, seid lieb zueinander. Das war's von mir heute. Nochmal Gratulation und da, wie gesagt, besonderen Augenmerk auf den Paul und natürlich auch an den Gabriel. Schön, dass der eine zu Ende gefahren ist und schön, dass der andere seinen positiven Trend eben so super bestätigen konnte. Das war's von mir. Macht's gut. Reingehauen. Ciao, ciao, euer Vincent.